What's up YouTube? Today I wanted to show you my new Dracotail K9 deck that just like came out with Justice Hunters like okay, so not the deck came out, but Dracotail and K9 came out in Justice Hunters like 2 days ago. And this deck is so much fun, and I definitely wanted to show you guys like how I'm playing it right now. It's a pretty standard build. If you have already like seen one or two deck profiles, you probably know what's going on. It's not that spicy, but it's really fun. And I'm testing it out, so I thought I'll just show you. So I'll start with the main deck. I'll start with 3 Lucius. He's your main normal summon, I guess. On summon you can just search a Dracotail monster, and all the Dracotails have like the effect when they're used as fusion material. You can just set a Dracotail spell trap from your deck to your field, and the dragons then have a bonus effect. Like I will tell you later. So for the first dragon and the second normal summon, you have 3 Mululu. This card basically is a quick effect during the main phase fusion summon, which is pretty nice. That is a quick effect because you can normal it, and if it gets impermed, you can just pass on it and can fusion summon in your opponent's turn again. And this one is a dragon, so it has a bonus effect. This card just negates basically non-target imperm, but forever. Not negates until the end of turn, like forever. And yeah, and the summon effect, like the effective fusion summon, locks you into fusion, sadly. So with K9, if you start with this, you cannot cannot play with your K9 cards. So yeah. But they're like just 2 cards that lock you into fusion, which is first of all this and a spell card. I'll tell you later. Then 3 Femena, which is your main search target for Lucius. This card is just quick effect discard and then fusion summon into a spellcaster or dragon. Which is actually crazy because it's main phase quick effect, so you can also use this in turn 0. And as well has the same effect that if it's used as fusion material, you can just set a spell trap. The setting, by the way, makes your deck very, very good into draw. Like actually really good. Like you don't care about draw. You only need 1 search. You sometimes go for 2, but you only need 1. This is definitely 3 of like this is like I think the Dracotail like engine wise is pretty easy how to play it. Like 1 Pan, 1 Orgula. Those big ones are like not starters or like stuff like that, but they have like both a grave effect and also, as well as the same effect as this. Like when they use the fusion material, you can set, and as you can see, like they are both dragons. Okay, never mind, you cannot see because of the light, and it's in German. But these are both dragons. This one, after setting, can non-target pop a spell trap, and this one non-target pop a monster. The grave effects are like very, very good actually, even if they're like just one-offs. This one can target a spellcaster Dracotail, so Femena or Lucius for right now. We will get a third one in Doom of Dimensions. You put it on the bottom of the deck, and then you can add it back. So basically you use this in combo, and then you add it back, so you have another interruption for your opponent's turn, which is kind of crazy. And this one is just like, if you have it in graveyard, you just let it there, because when your fusion monster is destroyed, you put it back on the bottom of your deck, and then you can non-target special summon a non-fusion monster from your graveyard, which is pretty good. So you can reborn Mululu and fusion summon in your opponent's turn, or like Lucius, which is like kind of cool. Or if you need like Urgula as a fusion material and you already have like a 5 mana in hand, then you can also reborn Urgula, because this is obviously a non-fusion monster. Yeah, that's for the monsters. I think this is pretty standard, as well as the spell trap lineup, which is just 3 K2 and 3 Rahu. Both cards can fusion summon, which is pretty crazy. This card just adds basically it's a rota. You can just search a Dracotail monster, but if your opponent controls a monster, you can then immediately fusion summon. This is one effect. So if you're going second, you can just add any of your dragons and then fusion summon, and then you can interrupt your opponent twice. Like for example, if you then summon like Athelion, we come to his effect later. You can basically interrupt your opponent twice, or like try to break the board with just 1 card, and you force out so many stuff. And also you can then with those not only interrupt, but you can also set Rahu, which is basically a branded fusion. You just fusion summon into a Dracotail. Sadly, the Dracotails all need one from hand, so you basically have to use one from hand, which is not that bad. But you can also use one from deck. So going second, you can use one of those from deck, and then as well as this card can interrupt your opponent. But this is the second card that locks you into fusion summon. One thing that is maybe a little bit relevant, you can only activate one of them once per turn. So if your opponent negates the activation of this card, you can use another one, as well as this card. So this is pretty good. And yeah, then also the 2 traps, 1 horn and 1 flame. This is just a compulse for monster in attack position, and this is just spell negate. But they also have a bonus effect after you use the compulse or the spell negate. You can just non-target put a Dracotail card from your grave or banishment, which is pretty crazy, from your deck, from your graveyard or banishment, on the bottom of your deck, and then draw a card. So you use your first trap, put anything back, like for example one of the spells as follow-up, and the second trap can just put back the first trap. So basically your grand game is pretty good, especially because you can also put from back at banishment, because it can happen that your opponent like DD cross this card or a target for that card. So yeah, and you can just put back the Urgula, which is an insane card, by the way. Yeah, then it's for the Dracotail part. For the Canine part, also I think the engine is pretty big. 3 Jokul, 3 Izuna, best hand trap, by the way. I love this card. This card, resolving this card is so much fun. Like, you have so many options. I love this card. And obviously the 1 loop is for that. This card helps you to quote-unquote bridge into your Canine engine. Like, for the Canine combo in this deck, you even need to draw a Canine, 2 Canines, including this, or Dracotails plus this, because if you you start with Dracotails. First of all, which is pretty relevant, all of these cards I'm gonna show you now are 1 card starters, but quote-unquote not really 1 card starters, because you need one of those plus a monster in hand, like any monster. It can be even Lupus. And if you have Lucius plus a monster, for example Lupus, and a Jokul, or let's not say Lupus because this is also working. Let's just say, I don't know, Ghost Ogre. You can combo with this into Dracotail and Canine, because you get a level 5 on your hand. But I will show you a quick combo later. So yeah, I think you know this card. This is just a hand trap if you want to use a monster effect in hand or grave. Special summon it, send this one special summons and XC summons, and this you reveal 2 level 5s, special both, and on field it can search a non-aqua Canine, which is basically every Canine except itself. This card could say a Canine monster except itself, it would be the same. So yeah, and then as well 1 Lantern, 1 Case of Canine, and 1 Forced Liberation. I was trying out a build where I just cut those 3 cards and just play this, because if you draw the Jokul, you can still go into Ripper plus your Dracotail board and add 2 Izunas, because this searches Izuna, and Ripper searches Izuna, because then you use 1 Izuna as a fusion material. So to minimize the bricks, because you don't want to draw these 2 cards, this card is obviously a brick, and this does nothing on its own. I was thinking about it, but today I played locals with those, and bro, they're just crazy. Going big Canine combo is just insane if you already have an end board. So yeah, those 3. This is just any Canine. On activation, searches a Canine. So this card is not a brick really. And you have access to everything in the engine if you just get this, or even this if your opponent hand traps you. So theoretically you have 7 cards that starts your Canine engine. The only problem is if you start with Molulu or Rahu, you're fusion locked. So if you have only those as your Dracotail starters, and for example Jokul plus another level 5, you would rather start with Jokul, because then you're not fusion locked. Sorry for the lagging of the camera, I don't know what was going on. Yeah, this by the way reborns special summons itself and a canine from graveyard, and this is just basically a rank up. And then you can non-target pop a card in main phase, which is pretty crazy because you can summon a really nice canine Xyz monster, which is pretty insane. I'll tell you later. I show you later. And oh, by the way, this card can also set it by when it's destroyed. And we learned today, if you listened, that the Orgula can non-target pop a spell trap. So when you fuse this off and you already have this on the field, and you for some reason cannot search this, you just pop it, and then you can set it from deck. Pretty cool. Yeah, then for non-engine, I think we can skip this like very quick. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Fuva, 3 Perulia, and 2 Ogre. Not that many hand traps, as you maybe thought, but as I said, those are like 11, and then you have 14 and 17 theoretically. Like this is also like a hand trap. You just need to draw this plus any monster, which is like pretty easy in a deck with, I don't know, 10, like 30 monsters. So not that problematic, I think. Oh yeah, this any monster plus a Dracotail, and you're playing like a bunch of Dracotails, and so this is definitely possible. Yeah, for the extra deck, I'm playing 3 Arthelion and 2 Gulamel. Bro, the third one is so good. I don't know, like today at Locals, I think I summoned the third one like 3 times. Like, it's so cool if you have a third one, and you have the space anyway, so why don't play 3-2? This one can just on summon. It's basically a firewall for every monster you use in from hand. You just target monsters in any graveyard or field and bounce them, which is pretty cool because then you can get your follow-up back. The funniest thing you can do is if your hand, for example, going second, I don't know, looks like we need a Dracotail, attention, like this. And those are your only other 2 monsters in hand. And you have 5 mana, and the problem is if you use Izuna as a hand trap, you cannot use 5 mana. What you can do is you use 5 mana to fusion summon, you fuse those into Arthelion. Arthelion target Izuna and an opponent's card bounce, and then you get back Izuna, and you can also use Izuna as a hand trap. So you have basically, like, you can bounce it, get it back. It's pretty funny actually. I like it. And both fusions, by the way, can summon themselves back if 2 monsters leave the get sent to the graveyard at the same time. So if you have like this in graveyard and you fusion summon 2 monsters, 2 or more get sent to the graveyard at the same time, you can special summon it back, but they get banished when they leave the field, which does not matter because you have 3-2 and the trap can put back. So yeah, 2 ways to get it back. And the Gulamel is just the graveyard effect is the same, and on field when you activate the Dracotail quick effect, you can chain it and target the card and pop it. Sadly, this is once per turn. This is not a detonator. Yeah, I think you can also play like this, but you have the space anyway, so why not play like this? Like this is mandatory, and this is just bonus because you have the space. And maybe because I don't own any cards you can play. But psht. Yeah, by the way, for the fusions, 1 Mysterion, 1 Secretarian. This is just for mirror match. I think this card is pretty ass, actually. Like, even in mirror match, this card is so easily... Like, if your opponent summons this, you can so easily out it. First of all, if they summon an attack, you can just go... the trap can bounce it. And it just says your opponent's special summoned spellcaster and dragons cannot activate their effects. So what you can do is you have so many outs into it. Like, you have 3... And there's so many outs to it. Like, you just need a way to either use the Mululu or the Pan as a fusion material, which is like pretty much, especially going second. Like, this card is really ass. If you want to build it going first versus Dracotail, like, be prepared to like get this card off the field. The other effect to like reborn 1 and put 1 back is really good, but like the floodgate effect is not that great actually. But this card is kind of cool. Like, you can easily Like if your opponent special is a monster with a type, with the same type as the monster they control in graveyard, I think, you can just banish it like the summoned monster and almost with the same what's it called, type. So if you're playing against Yami, for example, they play all beasts, they summon a beast, you use it, banish all beasts from field. Pretty cool, actually. So yeah. Then for the XT's monsters, one Ripper, one Valon, one Vimana, and the next card on the ban list. I'm gonna be honest, this is just a spot because those are like the only rank 5s I found like quickly. Never mind, I ordered this with because it's in Justice Hunters, and I had no idea what to play else. And I mean it's light, so sometimes the canines like Joku and Lantern, the summoned monsters cannot be used as light material because of this card. So sometimes you cannot go this, but you can end on those two and summon this on your opponent's turn with Izuna. And you can still go into this if you get hand trapped. You can still go Izuna, summon two, and then guess what? The canines can normal summon if your opponent has 2 or more cards in hand, and then you can go into this. I never summoned this card. This card is completely like such a stupid card. But if you can go into it, no matter how, play this card as long as it's like possible, even if it's unfair as fuck. Oh yeah, by the way, to like explain, this is just a monster negate. This is just quick effect Book of Moon. As I said, this is just a turn skip. If you don't know this card, read it. I will not explain it because you have to learn it yourself. Or otherwise, you just like your opponent activates it, you read it, and then you use the scoop. And this is just search a canine card and a monster negate for monster effects activated in hand or graveyard. So you can build this and just combo off because you're Nibiru proof. And then the stupid canine card I told you about is the werewolf. This card is insane because you can, when your opponent activates card effect, it has 2 effects. When it's on your turn, you just banish a card, and when it's on your opponent's turn, you can banish 1 card from their hand until the end phase. But you look at the hand, so you know what's like going on. And I think, yeah, that's like it. You can easily banish like a threat, like especially if you play against Vanquish, so you know the hand, you just banish a important attribute, or like any Zuna or like stuff like that, which is like crazy. And then Typhon, Zeus, and SP. You sometimes fusion lock, but Lupus can go Typhon turn 0. And with K9, if you start with K9, you can just force so many stuff with Zeus. So that you can, if you can break the board with K9, you just play Dracotail afterwards. And SP is just like the left spot. Because you have the space for 1. Yeah, like I was gonna be honest, I was thought in the beginning of playing Prosperity in this deck because you have so many space. But if you play a K9 engine, as you can see, like you have so many one-offs. Even if like this, like for me, those never came up because I never needed them. And this, by the way, too, because I never played the mirror match in real life until right now, like until today. But those will always come up, and Prosperity, just because you have like 4 or 5 cards that never came up, is like a little bit too risky, especially for the grind game. And this deck has a really good grind game, but then you don't want to like kill it with the Prosperity. Yeah, because a fusion deck without fusion monsters in the extra deck is a little bit bad, I think. And by the way, playing the Cannon Engine makes the deck better into D-Barrier, so yes. That's it for the deck. I don't have a side deck. I'm gonna be honest, I was playing local today with it, and like I even only had 13 side deck cards because I couldn't find like 2 other sleeves, and it was just like random ass shit. I don't know why this is in here. It was just like shit I threw together like quick before the locals. These are only 13 cards, by the way. So yeah, like the new format is a little bit, I still need to figure out what's good to side deck and what's not. So yeah, I hope you like the deck profile still. If you have any questions for the deck or like any random questions, just ask me in the comments. I'll try to answer everything as possible. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. and see you on the next one. Bye bye.